Hey, 반갑습니다. I can't believe that I've been teaching in South Korea for over 4 years now. And I've learned so much as a teacher since coming here in late 2011. And there are days when I sit back and I feel like, hey, I'm really becoming a good teacher here. And then there are days where I feel like, hey, I don't belong in teaching. What am I doing? They're just bad days. And I think that's probably how all of us learn is you have your good days, your bad days, your ebb and flow, and you learn from your mistakes. And so I thought I'd share a very recent flub up of mine that made me kind of rethink my approach to my teaching career and how I can become a better teacher, and maybe it'll help some people out there going through their ups and downs as they learn their own trade as well. Uh, as some of you may or may not know, in the EPIC program, which is what I'm with, it's the public school teaching program. Sometimes you'll be teaching different classes, not just your classroom classes with the kids. So sometimes you'll have teachers' classes where the teachers in your school, if they want to improve upon their English, they can come once a week or however many times is set out for you to come and sit down with you, go through some speaking lessons, or just have open conversation and improve upon their English. Usually that starts out with all the best intentions, but they usually kind of trail off at the end. There's also sometimes parent classes. I had that last semester where some of the students' parents, if they want to do the same thing, come and practice their speaking or whatnot, they can come in and sit down once a week with me or with the foreign teacher as well. Well, last semester I was working with the with the teachers class, and it ultimately boiled down to about 2 or 3 teachers that came consistently, and it was going really, really well. Now, the music teacher at the time, almost no spoken skills, and but she came to class, her and another teacher, and the other teacher had a little bit more advanced understanding, so they kind of fed off of each other, and it was a great atmosphere. And essentially what I did is I kind of narrowed down and used 1 or 2 songs. The main song that I used was by a group called One Direction. You probably know who that is, the boy band. The song What Makes You Beautiful, I think is the name. And so it was fun because, these are two mothers, they're probably in their late 30s, and they're probably no different than soccer moms back home. They were like, oh, One Direction, they're so cute and this and that, and the song was catchy, and I was able to explain the meaning behind the phrases and things like that, and it brought on a whole new dimension for them for understanding the song. And things went really well with that, and toward the end they were speaking more openly. One of the moms wanted me to tutor one of her daughter, which we're not supposed to do, so I didn't do it, but things like that come out of it. At the end we had a little pizza party, and it was just a fantastic experience for them and for me too, because it said to me, hey, do that again. So that's exactly what I did. Next semester comes around, I did the same thing, different song. I did a Taylor Swift song. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. And I would go through line by line. New music teacher, also very, very low speaking ability. And I said, all right, just stick to your guns, just stay with it, just try to work with her. And my co-teacher would come to class as well. She's always looking for opportunities to speak as well. And so she would help out. And it just wasn't catching. And each week I would just keep driving it. I would just say, oh, just stay with it. It worked so perfectly before. Just keep going through these, bring some supplemental vocabulary and slow it down a little bit and this and that. And it just never caught on. And there was no pizza party, and there was no offer to tutor or anything like that. And I said, well, it didn't go as well as I thought, but, I think she really enjoyed the song. Well, now the current semester comes around, same music teacher, and when my co-teacher asked some of the teachers if they wanted to have an open class, she didn't want to do it. And I was like, oh, man. I think she felt too intimidated. I think the rate or the level that I was going at, I was kind of modeling it after what I did before, thinking it was going to work again, and it just didn't work. And in fact, she actually probably shut down a little bit along the way because she felt so intimidated, and it just didn't work. So I learned, from that I just learned that, look, all these Korean students, they seem like they're the same, but they're all from different parts of town. They're all from different backgrounds and things like that. What might work in one area or district might not work in another district, and it's really important to be flexible and things like that. Just like going from Seoul to Busan is probably going to be different. You might have different slang and dialect and things, which there is. It's kind of like, say, comparing a New Yorker to someone from Kentucky. You know, they speak very different sounding English. The accents are different. The use of the language is different. Slang is different. So the good news is I don't have to worry about doing a teacher's class lesson plan right now. The bad news is that I felt kind of crappy about myself. But ultimately, it's a learning process, and I definitely learned that I got to tailor more my lessons and my approaches with each student, whether they're adults or with the students. Anyway, if you're a teacher, I hope this in some way helps you or soothes you if you're going through something similar. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.